I checked all of the inputs and the outputs with a ohm meter, and everything tested infinity resistance. In other words, there's no electrical connection between any of the inputs and ground or any of the outputs and ground. Nor did I see any electrical connection between any of the inputs and outputs. In other words, you know, on some systems, your battery, your negative battery, and your split phase or one of your outputs will actually be tied together all the way through the inverter. Especially those cheaper Chinese inverters, like I've used to power my water heater. So in this case, you can ground your negative on your batteries and ground the case of this inverter to that, and it shouldn't have any effect on that. You can also ground either of the outputs, but of course I wouldn't recommend that. That's not done in Europe. It's not done in the US. They only take that split phase off that center tap on the transformer and ground that. So here in the US you would want to ground that one. And speaking of the transformer, I thought I was going to be real brilliant and show everybody how to wire in a split phase or a center tap transformer onto this thing to get your 115 on either side with a split in the middle. And I went out and looked at some of my friends' YouTube channels, and Charles McCune's already done that. So there's no point in me reinventing the wheel at all. So I've got a link to Charles's website. If you're going to get one of these and you want to know how to hook up a split phase transformer to this inverter, check out Charles' website. He's done it, and good job, Charles. I was really impressed with that video. Most of the discussion that you're going to hear on this episode today is going to be pertinent to USA electrical standards. This is by no means the way to hook up your system. So don't take this as a how-to video. It's not. The only reason that we did it this way is Duane is in a bit of a pinch. He needed refrigeration for his kids. You know, they needed to have milk and medicine and all this kind of stuff. So he needed a refrigerator really bad. And this is real world, real life, real living, and he needs it. So we didn't put any of the safeguards in there that normally should be there. There's no breakers in anything. And before everybody says, oh no, you shouldn't have done it. Look, the guy's got a family. He's got kids that need refrigeration. It's the reason we did it. So the purpose of this is to show everyone, and particularly in other countries. I've got some subscribers in Africa and Australia and other places that they're kind of in the same way. They need to understand how things connect together. So that's kind of the purpose in this. It sort of shows how all of these devices interconnect, how the panels hook to the inverter, how the batteries hook to the inverter, and how you get juice out of the inverter to power an appliance. So this is very basic, and for that it's very good. There's also some good conversation in here that I think some people could get some use out of. So this is one of those things, if you take it with a grain of salt, take the things that you can walk away with, and the things that aren't good, it's like a cow. Eat the hay, spit out the rocks. So this is how this video is going to roll.
We gotta see what's in there.
I see. So these screws come off here, and then this
Allows us to lift the...
Yeah, then we have access to all the wiring stuff. So if you order one of these, you don't take the white cover off, you take the bottom black cover off.
But we did it the typical man way, and avoided the instructions at all costs.
Like I said, you fit in real good with all those rednecks out here.
Amen. Do they use the term hillbilly up here? Or is that just an East Coast Appalachian thing?
Yeah, I think it's more Appalachians, but out here it's more redneck.
Huh?
Rockabilly, yeah, rockabilly, that'd probably be all right. Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, yes, a good thing we didn't pull too hard.
Yep. Okay, so then this is the hookup for the AC output, and it's ground, line, and neutral. And neutral in most home setups is grounded.
Yes.
With this being capable of being ungrounded, you only ground this and your neutral isn't necessarily grounded.
But since this is putting out 220, are those going to be too hot?
Yeah, it would be like our 2 hots, that's correct.
Okay.
And then this would go into the transformer, and then we'd get the 120 from that. And then the PV panels hook up into this, your generator goes into this, and then computer hookups. Normally closed, common, and normally open. So that has got to be for your dry contact to start the generator.
Okay. A digital start?
It's a dry relay contact.
Okay.
So when it calls for the generator, your normally closed will go open and your normally open will go closed.
Okay.
And then you got some nice heavy lugs here for your inverter hookup. So these will go to your battery. And I'm curious which one's positive and which one's negative.
Well, let's go ahead and pull that panel off.
Oh, here it is. Negative, positive.
Okay, yes, excellent.
It's printed onto the metal to the right and to the left. So that's easy enough to wire up.
Let's just go ahead and take a peek in here. Get all this state of the art.
Yeah.
What ROHS compliant is.
Probably something international.
Mm-hmm.
You know how things used to be UL listed here? That's kind of gone away.
Oh, really?
So that's what the control panel looks like from the back side. And there's some really nice big coils and chokes in this thing. And that's what it uses instead of a huge, massive transformer.
Yep. All right.
Very interesting. Wish I had my meter so we could check and see if any of these are connected. Now this here, we'll cut this cord. This will tie into the 240 on the inverter.
Okay.
We'll bring 2 wires from your batteries to the inverter.
Yep.
Turn it on and plug in your fridge.
I got them the same length right here.
Okay.
So we got, I try to keep everything the same length. Although, theoretically, there's no draw on 2 inches or 4 inches of that thick copper wire, but...
That'll work beautifully, I promise you.
Right on.
So where are your cutters at? We'll cut this cable off and we'll...
All right, we got cutters right here. Just 3 right turns, 4 right turns, you'll be home. I got all kinds of cutters in here, from sheet metal to you name it. They're all right here.
Okay, where's your trash box or whatever?
Right there's a trash box right there. That's it.
All right, sweet.
Piece of plywood that doesn't have. That one doesn't have nails in it. That's got nails. I think yeah, man, you like to see what these guys are. To take advantage of the sun. Oh, mine are green. Right on, it does anyway, but I
don't want that.
So Matt, what do you do? You got solar panels? Tell me about your setup a little bit.
All right, it's not set up at all. I got them in various places on the property.
Okay.
But I'm wired for 12 volt on the bottom level. I've got a cabinet with a 55-gallon water drum and a 12 volt pump, and a little sink, and then I got water supply to the sink, and then I got water supply to a propane water heater that doesn't have propane hooked up to it, but it's set over my wood stove. And then the PEX line goes up. I'm going to put a shower up.
Man, I would love to check out what you got.
Okay. It's
sounds
tight. It's really tight.
Yeah, it sounds like you're using your noggin, and I like that.
I've got these 12 volt, well, they're actually like 1.5 volt fans, and I'm taking aluminized foam and making chases to circulate the air from top to bottom, because it's 2 different zones, basically, of warmth or cold, depending. I got R30 insulation in the walls upstairs, and then R38 in the ceiling, and it's a vaulted ceiling, so it sounds good if I play my guitar, basically. You know?
I like that.
You know, it's not, now that it's reflective a bit more, I'm sure it'll sound even better.
Yeah.
I just started finishing the top and putting all this stuff in this year. Painted the bottom side with mason paint to kind of brighten it up with like a dark cave in there. And I'm on my second wood stove. It's a bigger wood stove, and so it's like I get it going and then I just leave. You know, it's good to go for a long time. I don't have to constantly stoke it.
Right.
It's not as big as that one, but it's pretty big. It's an 8-inch discharge. A little wood rack, and it's really tiny in there. It's like I got a rack in there. I've been sleeping down there because it's cooler than upstairs right now because of the block. But,
I'm really dig all us people up here that are
How many of us are there?
Yeah, I mean, those are, the thing is, there's a bunch of us, but the thing is, we don't know about each other.
Right.
And that's not all bad.
Right, no.
Because some of the people you don't want it.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. I'm all for rugged individualism. I really am.
Me too.
But the thing is it is nice to know dudes. So if you get in a pinch and you need that third arm, it's like I don't want people bugging me all the time. But if something's up, I want to know.
Well, I've been bugging a little bit.
We've been having fun,
We're
man.
brand new friends, so I'm hooking them up with all kinds of shit. I really don't use this is a stretch for me to go to the solar.
Well, I think it's one of those things. It's kind of like a hobby, like boating or something, but it's got a payback.
Yeah.
You're not paying $35,000 for 5 fish.
Yeah.
Okay, now we didn't get to unbox this on the last video, so
You want to do the unboxing?
that's what I'm kind of doing now. This is the PIP MPP solar inverter, 4 kilowatt, 48 volt. The one that we talked about on our last
I
video.
got them all over the place. So
We needed some sandpaper to clean. He had a pump that wasn't working yesterday. I took it apart, cleaned it for him. Couldn't find my sandpaper, so I used the masking tape for drywall. The tape you put together.
Yeah.
the mesh tape.
Make use of what you got.
Exactly.
Improvise, adapt, overcome.
See, that's something else I try to do on my channel is talk a little bit about things that you can do to save money, because
Cardboard, you could stucco cardboard.
Yeah,
You take all that cardboard, bud, you staple it to the whole outside of this, put chicken wire, and stuck it.
that's right. Yeah, that board will work perfect, Duane.
Well, if somebody
That would be a quick way of insulating it.
if somebody really wants to learn how to live and not spend money, quit working.
Hey, there's something to be said for that.
I'm serious. Quit working.
Quit working for somebody else and work on your own.
Absolutely.
And then that way you're not
Yeah.
You're not working to make some other dude rich, but you're working to just make your own way.
Yeah, and if you have to go get a job for gas or something, you can work for, you can find real work to do instead of showing up on a clock.
Exactly.
I got real work for the
Have you got red tape?
Red tape?
Yeah.
I saw some tapes earlier. I know I got yellow and red. Yes, I do. I just
That's all right. Black tape will work, and we'll just pretend it's red.
I do have black tape. You need some. You need some black.
and I got yellow and red tape. Maybe right here.
Cool.
That's the other thing. You gotta have your own hardware store.
Yeah.
Crap. My stuff is everywhere because I inherited this trashy property.
Here, I'm feeling a little colorblind today.
That'll work.
Yeah.
That'll work. Anything so that we know it's not negative.
Wow, what is that? Is that a charge controller?
This is a charge controller and an inverter.
Really?
And this will run a generator, so you can run your generator into it, charge your batteries. The solar panels go into it; those will charge your batteries.
Mm-hmm.
And
so that's just a distribution for everything.
It's a one, like my house. I've got 3 different boxes to accomplish all what this does in one
Okay,
box.
all I have is a charge controller.
Yeah, this
and
thing's
solar
got it
panels.
all.
That's it, all I got. And then a little 400-watt inverter, but it's on I borrowed it. So, so I get one.
3/4 inch end caps. You know, for PVC. Imagine another inch of it here, so you can plug a water pipe cap. You know PVC pipe.
Yeah.
So you know the end caps that have no holes in them or anything,
right.
just to
You're
plug it
talking
off.
about electromagnetic valve.
Yeah, I just milled off the ends, drilled in, then ran my shaft in there, carbon shaft.
So you're making a solenoid?
Yeah, these were solenoids. I got a couple over there. I forget what I was doing with them. Some kind of experiment.
God, you make so much like me. It's almost. You sure you ain't my lost brother somewhere?
It might be.
All right, let me need to open this up.
All right, let's do it. Phillips head.
I'm about to blow your noodle off, boy. You're gonna have electricity, and you're gonna be like, I was waiting this long for nothing. I could have
No, I
done
was
this.
waiting for you to unbox. I was waiting for you to film.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love you like a brother, man.
Hey, I'm not sure if they should be charged. I've never bought an uncharged battery, but I did a little arc on them and didn't get much of a spark at all. So.
Have you? We need to measure the voltage across
Okay,
it.
let me find a meter, and first let me find a screwdriver.
Yeah. While I'm taking your inverter apart, you can check your voltage. How's that?
Sounds good. Sounds good. Here's Phillips head. Oh, Chris took off with one of my meters. I gotta hurry.
I got one at the house. I just don't want to go back over there to get it.
I have no idea where mine is at.
I got about 15 of them.
Yeah, Harbor Freight had them on sale once for like $2.50 a piece, and I bought like a dozen of them.
Those little ones with the 9-volt battery?
Yeah, the little red ones.
Mm-hmm.
Have you checked my sold items on eBay yet? Have you ever done that? You should. I make a beautiful 3-inch copper Boca Bob steel column.
Yeah.
I sell steel columns on eBay a lot too.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't know nothing about it. What about sockets? You got sockets?
Yeah.
Like 7/16? Looks like it might be.
Got it.
That's another thing you could do once you insulate this. Instead of using drywall, you could use cardboard and chicken wire and lath it, like plaster it.
I'll do some OSB. I think. Do some OSB.
That's too big. Next one down.
OSB would be nicer and stronger though.
It's probably metric.
You do a lot of different stuff.
Just 3/8 is the next one.
Sure.
Yeah, probably.
I want to be
He's building you a nice place, kid. He's building you a nice place. You're gonna have good stuff going on there.
Yeah, you got metrics. Let's try that.
You're gonna have power. You're gonna have a shower. You're gonna have clean clothes.
And
It's gonna be one of these.
Okay, and you don't have to answer to the man. Be careful with that.
That's not
right
it.
here if we need one.
Okay.
Yeah, the way things are going, Chris and I have been talking about, the Quanzai. We're going to get, that's $5,600 for the Quanzai. And then just as slow as everything, we still don't have a water permit yet. So So we don't know, man. We were thinking today about buying another building, a 2-story maybe, and putting like a glass atrium in the middle of the two, so you got a little garden room.
I think that's cool.
I think that might be interesting.
Okay, this is metric volts. This is negative here and positive here. And I'm going to hook the battery cables up to that first. And it uses a 10 millimeter. It's metric. So you'll need a 10 millimeter socket to get to those nuts.
He disappeared on us.
Oh, I was talking to my YouTube people.
Okay.
I know I look like I'm talking to myself sometimes.
Yes, how you probably are talking to yourself.
Did I look like I was talking to myself, Constantine?
Yeah.
Well, I thought you were talking to Duane, but he walked away.
Yeah, I did. Alright, so this one's positive. And we need to be positive, it's positive, right, boy? Alright.
Thank you.
And orange is positive. Can you help me remember that? Alright.
Or you get blown across the room. I know a guy that's half of his system, and he's grid connected, but he can be totally off grid, and then he's dedicated to his well pump on top of a mountain.
50.1.
That's good.
Yep. So we got a charge on it.
That's like half of his system though, and he runs a house on it.
Yeah, I run my house is all electric. I got electric water heater, electric cook stove, and
Well, they kind of split it up. They did propane too. They have they're grid tied.
So expensive.
yeah, I don't have propane.
Are you doing a little on-demand hot water heater? Or
Me?
yeah.
No, it's a tank, 50-gallon tank water heater. But the reason I do that is because I've got it turned up as high as it'll go.
Right.
So during the day, it makes all that hot water. And then at night, I've got 50 gallons of hot water. So after it gets dark, I can take my shower. She takes hers in the afternoon.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a nighttime shower too, man. If I take a shower today,
They don't
I'm
really,
done working.
the regular water,
Yeah.
electric water heaters really don't take that much juice. I mean, it's like 130 amp fuse. You know, I mean, it's not a bad way to go, especially if you've got a block that you can mount it in for gravity feed.
I got the tool in my truck, in my bag. You know, every hot water heater I see on the side of the road, I stop and pull the elements. And
I just helped a
That
neighbor
one's got to go way over there.
go from an on-demand heater.
do you want these soldered? Do you want me to just solder these?
That's going to be temporary.
Okay.
So
Okay.
no need in it really. AC output is these bottom ones. And I got ground, line, and neutral. So what it's going to be is green, white, and black. No, green, black, white.
And that's going to be pulling my 220 down to my 110.
Yeah, this will
Okay.
take your 220 or your 220 here, convert it to 110 here. You see how I got it?
Yeah, and then my
And you can see here that your output is your bottom one. Your input, you just get you a plug and wire it into this,
Okay, yeah.
and that'll come from your generator, and it's got to be 220.
Okay.
Matt.
So don't plug that into your 110 or
I'm
your
listening.
inverter will crash.
I'm listening to what they're saying. Maybe I'll
I was trying to think, was that a 220 I've got? But no, I know what I did. I
survival.
I just ran one pole to my
all the
fuse
time,
box
every day.
out in Arkansas.
That means you're still alive.
Beautiful.
Man, I left my dang reading glasses at the house. Lord have mercy, and
You
I'm
need a
blind as a
flashlight?
bat.
Need a flashlight?
I got a flashlight.
How in the heck you got this thing out?
Are they just plus somethings? Are they just like the Walmart magnifiers, or you got prescriptions in there?
No, they're just Dollar Tree readers is what I get.
I got like 4 pair. Let's see.
Yeah, I got like 4 pair myself.
Oh, I think I know where to
Bring
go
them
with my
with me.
fly sign here.
I have a friend that has the same problem.
I'm glad I'm not alone.
I told him I was going to put a paracord on him and wrap around his neck so he wouldn't lose him. I didn't think that was funny, but I carried my keys around my neck so I won't lose them.
Yeah,
I
everybody's.
already been down that road up here.
Yeah, and then it's not like town's just down the street.
No, I walked twice up here. I've been up here over 6 years. I was out without a vehicle for quite a few periods of time.
Gosh, man, you live the hard life, brother.
Yeah.
But you know, I respect that deeply. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, it's just life, I guess.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work out the way you planned it.
Right?
But I'm going to be set up for it, you know. It doesn't
Man,
matter.
I got a ton of people that would be interested in your story. Of course, not everybody wants to share their story.
No, well, that's why I play the blues on occasion. With the shotgun and coffee and my smokes.
I'm feeling that.
You know, it's like, all right, I'm taking no shit today.
Yeah. You know, I've heard the cops talking about how that they don't even like coming up on this
Oh,
mountain.
no, they're afraid. I'd back them up if I saw it going on.
Yeah.
But it's so spread out. Shit, we're all kind of on our own out here.
Well, I think that if one dude was under fire and everybody else found out about it, I think it would start rolling pretty quick.
Yeah, I had a gun battle in my neighborhood one summer
Oh, yeah?
over drugs.
Oh, was that deal last year?
No, it was unaffiliated with that, actually. It just happened to be that they were protecting their crop, but I think, thankfully, I was over the hill from them.
Yeah.
And I was doing a tire wall that day.
Tire wall?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a good day to be behind tires, I think, because I heard some rounds fly over my head.
Wow.
Um,
Only in America, brother.
yeah.
This America, we like our guns and our religion.
For a little bit longer, if hopefully they don't mess it all up.
So cinder block really appeals to me on many different levels.
Uh-huh.
I can't find.
You got needle nose?
Yeah, oh yeah. Looking for the reading glasses for you.
Well, I can do.
Okay.
I've got two of them down. I'm just
Here,
trying to get the last one.
let's flip these upside down.
Upside down, yeah. Never mind.
Man, that almost works.
I got
Not quite.
somewhere too. Damn. Okay, what am I getting? Needle nose.
Needle nose and some reading.
I can't wait to have everything organized again.
I hear you. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You just have to memorize where it's at.
I'll be up all night, man.
Okay.
Drinking coffees and
I heard something go dink.
Ed? Oh, I'm just hanging out.
yeah, I know what I did. I ran my 110 generator to my fuse box, I think, and just to run one side of it when we were out of power. I don't think that one does 220. I had a 220 for a while. So I'll get me some coax. We'll probably go in or get a couple of them. Yeah, boxes.
I'm sorry, dude. I ate earlier. I was good
So our permit for our septic came in today. Septic came in.
So you got that in the
Well,
freeze.
the approval came in because
Yeah.
But yeah, I called the water company. Says they're behind. They're short of help right now. So maybe 8 weeks is too quick.
Have you got a slightly bigger Phillips?
Yeah.
This one's just a little bit too thin to catch that lid.
Like that.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I'm sitting there thinking I need ice so I can freeze freeze my milk jugs to keep my stuff in my cooler cold, but with the refrigerator, I just keep it off.
Yeah, well, if your batteries start getting low, you can always fire your generator.
Right. Well, I'll have some panels out tomorrow. I'll have it, at least
you'll be in
probably 10
business.
panels out. I'll go get me some posts. And
Okay, since this inverter is 240 volts output, I brought Duane this transformer that we're going to use. It's a step down from 240 to 120. And I've got that wired up right here in these lugs. In this inverter, I've got these 3 lugs. Here's where it's wired to. This is ground, and line, and neutral, which really is pretty meaningless in our case. But we're gonna get a split phase transformer. We'll tie that in here, and then it'll be wired just like any standard house in America. So my fellas that are out in these other countries that are interested in this inverter, this is where we're tying in our output leads. This will power all of his appliances. We're going to get his refrigerator going tonight. And then this one here is where the generator hooks up to. And then you can see here where I've got the battery positive and negative are hooked up to these leads that are running down to the floor. And then we'll get those hooked up to his Rolls battery bank.
Constantine, have you seen the hacksaw around here anywhere?
What hacksaw?
I don't any of them.
There might be a tiny saw in your cooler bag. There might be.
Oh yeah, that's the wood saw. I don't think I have a metal blade for that one either.
I'm not sure. You got.
Matt might have one.
Well, dude, this thing's ready to hook up to your batteries and turn on.
Alright. You want to talk about the refrigerator, we might want to add that in there too when we pull it out.
Yeah.
The new compressor tech.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're there. You want to hook to some batteries?
Well, if you got your plywood ready, well, let's
bolt that. Let's see, is it? Let me,
There's another piece too.
yeah, let me maybe nail a couple 2x4s to this real quick.
Daddy, what do you need from
Right.
that?
Matt, you got a hacksaw in the truck, Andy?
Hacksaw?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
All my tools are at my next job tomorrow.
Okay.
Other than my hand tools. Primitive tools.
Alright, we'll just balance it to this and just be careful with it. We'll mount this low.
I got a hammer in there and maybe some nails.
Well, it only needs to be for until after Wyatt's come and gone.
Yeah, I was just going to mount some 2x4 to it so it wouldn't want to fall over so easy.
Well, here.
We'll do that later.
There's another piece there.
So that where.
A little more rigid,
Yeah.
I think. Well, this will be good, I think. I'll make
We
it.
don't even really need to bolt it on there for tonight.
No, fans are
Chris will
blowing
be
that way.
happy
Is there
to
any,
have a
is there any
fridge to put the veggies in.
does it need any ventilation from the bottom side? It's going to be bolted to the
It's
wall,
bolted,
though.
yeah.
Yeah, so no, we're good then.
And especially if all you're running is
You
the
want to
fridge,
attention
it's
tree?
not going to be generating
Anything
any
to
heat
drink.
anyway.
Okay.
You got anything?
Yeah, you want.
I'm drinking water right now.
So what we need to do is
Thank you.
slide this over where that negative terminal will reach.
Yeah,
We'll let your negative up first. So if you want to go ahead and bolt
got it.
that on.
Right there. They're in that tray or they're on.
No,
they're up
Constantine had
here
2
now.
packs of them.
Yeah, I remember
I think they're right
sliding
there.
them over.
Hey, that was your setup right there. My half inch.
I see him. Yep, there you go.
Because I had to go borrow a couple bolts from Roger. I couldn't find these. They got lost in the vehicle.
I don't know anybody over there. So is he the guy that's got the kind of mix match of solar panels out in front of his house?
He's got
Yes,
48
yes.
volt in his garage and 24 volt in his
I've been wanting to meet that dude, but you know how people are. You don't want to just walk up and say, "Hey, how you doing?" You
Yeah,
know,
you might get eaten or shot.
Yeah. I've been wanting to meet him, but I just never really knew how to go about it.
He's an engineer, and he's built wind turbines that are 30 foot in diameter. I mean, he lived in a we're going to negative.
Yes.
Okay. He lived in
Done a lot of stuff.
a earth chip for a while. For quite a while. I don't know how you get there.
Western slope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was an engineer at my job, and I can promise you I don't miss it. I like doing this kind of engineering a whole lot better.
Practical, like Shade Tree mechanic / NASA hillbilly engineering.
Yeah, that's the hillbillies, man.
Yeah. I was a boiler technician in the Navy, so, and then a diesel mechanic. I kind of burned out on all of it. Now I'm just tinker. I kind of do without it though too. I think about it all the time, but
Okay,
it's easy for me. Me and the dog.
I want you to read up on this a little bit before we tie down this last lead. You can read German, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I know a guy up here that can.
That's just German. I don't know anything.
Oh, no. I got, trying to think if you get...
I know somebody up here that can for us.
What are we looking for? To batteries?
Well,
Battery
what we want, what I'm mostly interested in is startup. When we touch this to the positive lead, it'll probably spark pretty good.
Yeah, with the switch, it should. From what I read previously, it shouldn't, and it's going to have capacitance in there, and
Right, there'll be capacitors.
Our on switch is going to be on, so we shouldn't get a spark from what I read earlier.
On my inverter, when you touch it to the battery for the first time, you get a nice arc weld going. It's like,
Cool.
and then your PV array just hooks to these two.
All right.
And you can see your PV minus, PV positive. We'll talk about that.
Are they going to come with easy connects, you think, or am I going to have to wire connects on there?
Yeah, you'll have to wire them up on there.
Operation. Once the unit has been properly installed, the batteries are connected. We'll simply press the on/off switch. Boom, and then the battery connection is just simply what to connect.
Don't let it startle you if it arcs, because mine arcs every time.
Okay.
I want to see that, okay? Don't throw that.
Yeah, we got Dyson.
See, I told you.
I figured it would be sucked up in capacitance in there.
Well, it will, but the capacitors are on the front end.
Dude, there's your rail gun right there.
It barked. It did bark.
Yeah, we got a nice little arc.
Oh, I want to see that.
Hey,
You should have hung around, brother.
it's not the 4th of July yet.
Shoot aluminum cans with concrete in them with the rail gun out of just those batteries. I think all the capacitors you could hook up to it. That's the stuff I think about.
Capacitors.
That's that military crap.
Well, you can make. You can make.
Acid test?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it. Holy moly!
What that mean?
It means that it's booting up, kind of like a computer.
Yeah.
I've got a book from I think the 30s on electricity, and it goes through the bottle capacitors and all kinds of beautiful old.
Okay, it says it's putting out 230 volts, 50 cycles. So we got to figure out how to program it for 60 cycles. People that are in.
Right there's the book.
People, and you're gonna have to read it because I don't have my glasses.
I think
if you're in America and you need 240 volts and it's got to be 60 cycles, you want to make sure that you reconfigure this inverter before you plug your appliance in. In this case, we're going to plug in a refrigerator, and it's an LG. It has that new linear compressor technology, so it's really efficient. So it'd be very easy for this thing to push. The batteries, he won't even have to charge those for days. But tomorrow we're going to be getting solar panels in.
I think that'll be the first new filter we got.
charging current. I'm not seeing cycles yet. Frequency. Okay, it's number 9 on the list. So I think we got to go to the 9th command. If you can pull that up. And then you're just going to simply be able to change your cycles by hitting the up key.
Oh, hit the up key?
That's what I'm seeing. On command.
So that's one tap. I need to go 9, you said?
Yes, to number 9. Because we're not getting a tap number, are we, showing a display?
Right.
Okay, well,
It's just saying battery 0
That's
volts.
it, but go on and I'll see if I can see the cycles over here. See, I can use glasses.
Yeah, I'd like to hear.
U1.
72 and then 60. I
So
don't know what that means.
You like parking on the dirt. Look at that. I'm going to put some outdoor carpet on the dirt out there, huh?
okay.
I know people out there are wanting to see what this display is saying here. We're trying to bring up the configuration. And you can see the green light flashing
Here
here.
we go. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Now go ahead, we're ready.
After pressing and holding enter button for 3 seconds, the unit will enter setting mode. Press up or down button to select the setting programs, and then press the enter button to confirm the selection.
So I go to 9 now.
Yes.
Pretty warm, huh? Pretty warm. Yeah, it's warm. It's brown now.
Right, okay.
50, yeah. And then enter to change it?
Up or down.
Well, but if I go up
Oh.
and down, I'm just cycling
Okay. Okay. Press enter button to confirm the selection. Yes.
through it. Yeah. 60.
Okay, and then press the exit button when you're done, or escape button to exit.
Okay. Now, is there one for output voltage?
Output voltage.
Because we really want 240 instead of
Okay.
230.
Output source priority to configure load power source priority.
No. That's like if you're going to switch between commercial power and solar
Okay.
power.
What's that?
AC input voltage range.
Cheap. And
We're
actually,
looking for AC output voltage.
Setting voltage point back
The
to
Coke
utility source.
The Coke kit?
Output voltage.
Okay.
Only
That kit?
available
My
for
Coke
120
kit,
VAC models.
Okay.
It's
It's not going to make that much of a difference. Your fridge will run all right with it, but still, I was.
like the paper, and this is a roller. Because if I can't roll my fingers very well.
What are we getting for our output
It's a
voltage?
cigarette.
It says 230, so one half of that's 115. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, that's fine.
It would work, but I would like to get 240 if
I'll
there's a
never
way
do
to
it.
get it.
It's not worth it. We're dying breed for a reason.
And we also need to configure it for your batteries. All right, but at least our cycles are right now. There's Constantine. Smile real big and wave.
Your goofball look, huh?
I hope I didn't lose that video because it just died.
Oh.
And I think that might have been what happened last time.
Part of living out here.
Yeah,
It never works
amen.
right.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, that shovel you loaned me?
Yeah, that's your
Dude.
shovel, man. That's your shovel.
Dude, I am here to tell you that thing is a back saver.
When I grabbed your shovel and I hopped on it one time, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I grabbed my screwdriver and my generator and I went and started opening crates. And then you said you had digging to do. I'm like, I cannot let Steve dig anymore with this.
Hey, I'm telling you, whenever when you get brought that shovel over and I stepped on that, it slipped right into that clay almost like. I mean, not that easy,
Well,
but
he sharpens them edges too, if you notice.
yeah.
Yeah, that's an evil shovel. And you can do a lot with that.
I don't know if I got
Hey,
the one I
take
gave him
some
sharp.
trees
You
on
might be
that.
able to take a
Best
bear on with
I
it
mean,
for a little while. I would think a titanium one would be awesome.
I love tools. I love tools.
You know? Pipe out one end and a shovel on the other.
What happened to the recording to me? Daddy, the recording to me? Dad?
We're not sure. Hopefully not.
Are you
That's how firefighter tools were made.
Are you gonna start it all over again?
Guys were just welded something up. It worked better than what they had.
Okay.
Well, I don't know why this thing here.
What? Once. Get up around that pot, Duane.
Electricity without the
Now
power
you might want that bread
company.
maker. Now you might want that bread maker.
No,
Come on now.
no,
Dad, what
Make your own
is it?
bread.
no.
Dad, what is it? Dad?
Just a little safety
Look at
stop to keep stuff from breaking.
Power light.
Right.
Plug it in.
And the corn got in the back.
You probably ought to make sure that you check that there's not needed to be like.
Do we need to configure batteries or anything first on there, or we can do that at any time?
Take that block out.
You can do that anytime because that's going to be for the charging.
Okay.
And we've already got the inverter part set up.
That's the
So
corn
we
back
can
there.
get
Aren't your dad doing making mad?
Is that door making you mad?
You understand,
Here we
myself.
go.
Here,
Hey, door.
take that cardboard off down there, Constantine. There you go. Atta boy. That's so pepper.
Hey, those
Alright.
cardboard, those are cardboard.
See, we brought, let's get the stuff out of from underneath it so it can breathe.
All right.
Refrigeration.
Hold on, let me get another. We're gonna come out and check the washing machine.
My key is the shower.
There you go. You got it,
Indoor heating
Constantine.
shower is my key. I can do without the fridge, but the indoor heating shower.
Let me know when you're ready. I'd say open the door and make sure that the thermostat's as high as it'll go for right now.
Smart inverter.
Yep. So it means it only uses the amount of electricity it needs.
Okay, where is our?
Oh, it's probably digital.
Yeah, it is digital. Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Oh wow, that's got a nice lighting in there. They got LED lighting in there
lights.
too. You know, it's.
Let me see if we're getting this on camera here.
I'm very grateful that it's finally happening, but it doesn't seem like it should have took 30 years from when we started talking about this in school. You know.
Yeah.
And then definitely shouldn't have completely got dropped during the high school years. You
It's
know?
actually warning.
Yeah, it's running. You can hear it running.
Simple on and off for the ice maker. So if you don't want to use that energy, you don't have to. You know, we don't want to, so we'll go down and off right now. We don't have any water hooked up. Yeah, you can pill stick me, buddy. Wow.
How's that feel?
You know that.
And look at that. Your fans here aren't even running.
Yeah. Amazing, isn't it?
And
You know those low sine waves for royal coils in there are amazing.
You're also gonna a
Aren't
little
they
bit.
amazing?
You'll heat this space up a little bit too.
Yeah,
so your battery voltage right now is 49.7,
So we dropped.
and you're pulling 130 watts.
Let's
Yeah.
get all that stuff.
Where did you put the yellow tag, Dan? Did you pull the Energy Saver tag out on this? This
Yeah,
refrigerator.
let's have a look at
Talking
that.
about that?
Yep. So the annual energy cost on this per year is $57 to
We're gonna need
operate,
that, right? Maybe?
Or
and I'm not sure what they're counting. 12 cents per kilowatt hour. That's what they're talking about. 471 kilowatt hours a year. Divide that by 12. That's your monthly, and divide that by 30 to get your average daily consumption. So it's a little bit over. It's a little bit over 1 kilowatt hour a day.
this is just part of the payback process for the solar. You know,
Right.
it's all there. It pays for itself so quick. Well, here where we are, it pays for itself in just the connection cost alone.
Mm-hmm.
So for what we would pay to connect, we got power free for maybe 10 years if we take care of the batteries.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Easy if you take care of it. Well, Chris, you see your fridge running?
What do you think, baby? Stick it power company? I expected some jumping jacks or something. Early delivery jacks.
Yeah. So anyway, that's all there was to hooking it up so you've got juice to your fridge now. And then there's not really any sun today. I'm not sure what you were planning to do for mounting panels to some kind of a rack or whatever.
Yes, I'm gonna do a temporary rack. Probably tomorrow I'm gonna go buy some round posts. You know, those, stick them in the fence
Chain
posts.
link post or something.
I was gonna go ahead with the wood, you know, large
Yeah.
round wood posts.
And Tom did that for a while with
Yeah.
his, and I did that too.
Okay, and then I'm not sure if I need to pick up some mounting components for these, and I need to mount them to angle iron, or what the best way is to mount them. So, you know, I have to look at what I need to.
Holy channel.
Yeah, what I need to purchase, or if we need to buy some components, you know, on eBay to mount.
We'll have a
those.
look at your
Okay.
panels here as soon as I gotta go back over this because
Yeah.
it didn't take long ago. Okay, I got the battery lugs. This is the negative. This is positive. And then these batteries, we don't have them fused or anything. This is very dangerous. Don't try this at home, folks.
But we are going to order a DC fuse here when we get on it.
Yeah, we're gonna order the necessary components, but at least he's got electricity now. Then I got ground, line, neutral, and we do still need to hook up a. We need to hook up a ground rod outside and run a ground in here.
I got an extra one of the
Yeah,
ground
no.
rods.
I've got some. You got some copper on you? Some ground rod on you? Okay. All right.
So this is what we got now. The generator wires into this same way. Your ground, and then your 230 volts or 240 volts from here to here. And then this is the PV array input to charge the batteries with. And then this is computer interface, so you can configure it from a computer, which is probably easier than trying to do it from the panel.
Yeah, that's like using a flip phone.
Yeah.
So we done?
Yeah, I don't think I have any large copper ground rods. I've got quite a bit of copper uncovered today, but
No.
well, we're not done with it.
Well, you can use a
You
piece
will.
of pipe.
I don't want
Anyway.
them to do
Then I
that.
got some copper pipes.
Well, we're getting there, Chris. Slowly but surely. And it ought to be starting to get cold in an hour or two.
Alright, that's awesome.
Well, I don't see where I put that one screwdriver I was using. But this will work.
Yeah, this is the only handy copper I got right here for Constantine's Jacob's ladder.
What take up ladder?
Remember?
Did you build him one of them?
Yeah.
What take up ladder?
Are you guys
Remember
like
the electricity?
homeschooling? Is that what y'all gonna do?
Yeah, he's been homeschooled, but he's refusing to do his lessons and stuff. So we're gonna send him back to public school and let him get a bunch of uneducation for a little while, and then see if he likes.
You're gonna go get indoctrinated.
Yeah,
instead of
indoctrinated.
educated.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we can't find a compromise with him. He won't do his lessons. He wants to fuss and fight and just so we're gonna
I
let
gotta
him see.
stop you.
We're gonna let him see what
I gotta
that's
stop
like again,
I gotta stop you.
and just have to tell
I
him
gotta stop you.
how much of it's theory and how much of it's propaganda each day.
Exactly. Because they do try to pass that propaganda off as theory.
Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah,
Or they try to pass it off as fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is wrong.
All right, let's go have a look at your panels.
All right.
Okay.
Yep. So these panels are rated at 230 watts each. And you got what, 22 of them? So you got 5 kilowatts of panels. Man, that's arc welding right there.
Amen. And did you see the rating sticker on the box?
And that's just because being from New Mexico where there's no trees, I've seen lightning burn up a lot.
I talked with the guy up here that his whole system got fried by lightning.
Now, through the Carolinas, every house has lightning rods. You know,
Yeah.
they really sell them there, and I think it's
And he didn't live very far from you, so south of here.
Is this your trailer, dude?
Yeah.
Wow.
Harvard little tractor supply. You know, grabbed it when I got up here. I sold my trailer down there, so just bought it up here. You know.
I had a friend that did that. He was moving away, and he said, "I'm just going to sell everything on Craigslist real cheap, and then when I get there, I'll buy it all back real cheap.
Yeah.
That way I don't have to haul it." And you know something? He even ended up with the same bedroom furniture that he had. He said, I don't know how that happened, but it's the same company, same style, everything. And he said, I paid less for it than what I sold it for.
Yeah. Yeah, we whittled it down to that van and that trailer and those crates. You know, that was our everything, you know.
Yeah.
Which is all tools. You know, I even threw away all her clothes. I was like, you don't need clothes. No, but I
Can I
did.
believe that?
I did when we left Arkansas. After about 4.5 years in Florida, I gave all my long sleeve shirts and all my winter gear to my buddy Dave. And 8 months later, he decided to move.
Yeah. So these panels
Learning
are
bad
rated
habits from me.
230 watts each. And you got what, 22 of them?
22 of them.
So you got 5 kilowatts of panels. Man, that's arc welding right there.
Amen. And did you see the rating sticker on the box that came with each panel?
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's for warranty purposes.
Yeah. I'll keep that.
So you might want to
your
cut
mom.
those off
Yeah,
and stick them.
Go see your mom.
You
You still got this stuff in your mouth, lady.
Easy trip. You like it out here, huh?
Man, those
You
are thick
do.
old straps.
Are you showing off? Or is that just how you are?
Don't hit me with them.
I'll try not to hit you, Constantine. You're my buddy. I got to take care of you.
What about our deal, Steve?
Huh?
What about our deal? You're supposed to knock him off the trailer. Constantine, you're supposed to knock him off the trailer. Did we have a deal?
Were you supposed to knock me off the trailer? Oh, man.
I tried to check these, you know, because Dave said he got some that came in broken on the bottom. So,
I didn't get any broken.
good. And so I cut a peephole in here, but they're just stacked frame to frame. You can't see anything.
Yeah. That's the way mine work.
Okay.
Oh, that looks pretty already.
Hot daddy them.
Oh, check them out. Look at that.
Let's just raise this one up so that they can see it on the camera.
You like them blades?
Hot daddy them.
Those are
look
nice.
just like mine.
Those are nice
Except
panels.
those put out more power than mine do.
They're increasing. Are they increasing the lines in them, you think? What are they doing to increase the power rate?
The cells are large.
Okay. So you've got more space in between your cells?
Well, it's not the space between them so much, it's the size of each cell.
Yeah. So each cell's a little bit smaller. You said your frames are the same size?
I think the frames, well, it could be that the technology has made them more efficient.
You want me to get?
There they are.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
22 of them boogers.
You want me to get it for you? Can you show the?
But I don't think we're ready to take any out because, you know, the winds kick up at night. So we don't have anything to keep them fastened down. We're going to have to build something tomorrow. Hardware for bolting these racks down. I see we can do
Yeah.
screw bolt systems here. Do they make any quick clips that we can purchase?
Yeah, but they'd all be online. You could call that Marion fella.
I might talk to them for racks.
Yeah, other than that, you're going to be ordering them off eBay and waiting a week to get them.
Yeah, but I can make do on some panels until then, but I'd like to have them all the same stuff.
See,
So let's do that then.
Whenever you've got these connectors here, and you'll see that you got one male and one female.
Sure.
So,
we going to want to run any parallel, like 3 of them?
Yeah. Here's what we want to do. We just want to lean them up against something and start hooking them up in series till we get up to like, I think 140 volts.
Okay.
Once we reach 140 volts, then we wire up the next set to 140. And until we get them all done.
Okay.
And then try to work it out where you're going to have an even number of them.
Okay.
And if you got to back off to 2 in series, then you can do that.
Okay.
This says open circuit voltage is 37.35 volts. So you can say 38 volts. So 140 divided by 38 is how many you can get in series.
Okay.
I got this up.
4. Yeah. 3 times 4.
About 4.
20, so.
Oh,
No.
3. Already wanting to be on film.
Yep. No, don't do that. Don't do that, kiddo.
I don't want to be on film. I want to be behind the camera. We're going to do the little dance. Shoobity boop bop beep bop, my baby, baby. She can boogie woogie. Look at her go, Steve. Shoobity boop bop beep bop, my baby, baby. She's made for Carnival. Right there.
Yeah, so according to this, you would put 3 cans in series. You got 22. So that means you'd have 1 left over. So now what we want to do is fall back 1, which means you do 2 in series. So let's see, 38 times 2. That'll give you 76 volts. And I wonder if it'll let us go 150. Let's we need to get your inverter. Yeah, we need to get your inverter paper.
Okay. I think it's on the side too, the max input.
What is it, pup?
So what are you guys doing?
Are you hot?
No,
We need to clip you.
Max input, photovoltaic voltages, DC voltages.
You're comfort oriented, aren't you, pup? Comfort oriented, huh? Yeah. Those are cool. Huh? What? What, Patience? What are you barking at? What are you barking at? Lung, but yeah.
Check this out. See, we've got some 233s, some 230s even.
Okay.
So
Well, our voltage is what we really got to go by.
you got. Woo, I don't like it.
All you got to do is just stick it in the ends and then leads.
Yeah, I was just trying to find
Oh, okay.
they were wrapped together.
Bless you.
35.4. It said 38. That's good. They're all 35. 35 and 35,
Yeah, let's
70.
do, well, yeah, I'm thinking maybe 37. So,
Pull one down, do another one.
no, we'll do it when we
Okay.
start.
Okay.
I'm just trying to kind of get a ballpark figure of what we really have to work with.
What's 35 times 70, 80, 90, 100?
right, let's say 37 just to be safe. 145 divided by 37.
I need you to help me look for one.
You lost them? Watch where you're pointing at.
I
Then.
got one.
You got one.
I'm serious.
One that fall.
One flew away.
No, one that falls somewhere out there.
Right.
Okay.
That would be an option.
Okay.
You can shoot him with it.
Well, if they're all less
Girl
than
that wants to
36,
hold on
then
to
you
me
can
for
do
a
4 in a
second.
series.
How you doing?
And then,
How you
And
doing?
it'd be better to
He
throw
didn't do
one
that.
cell out, you know, by
You're a
blocking
cutie.
it,
You're getting
than throw a whole-
some
than have a whole
sunburn.
panel not
Getting some
producing.
sun.
Forget the sunburnt, Mama. You might want to take her aside.
I think we're going to end up having to do 2 per series.
Okay.
Um,
That's gonna be okay until winter, right?
All
It'll be okay all the
Okay.
time.
Okay.
It's just,
You're good at
because the
shooting
thing
with
is,
it?
the reason
I'm
it's
gonna
not
help you
really
find
that
it.
big of a deal is
I wanna
it's
know
not
you can
48
shoot
volts
with it.
first
Watch
off,
where you point that thing.
and your wire, it's not like you've got 500 feet that you're running out to your panel already.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna.
So, the only time you want your voltage really as high as possible is when your run's real long.
Okay. We're not. We're gonna. You know, our Quanzai is gonna go here, but until then, this is gonna be it. And then our control building. I think our control building, where these crate yards are better area for a panel. Don't you think?
I agree.
So put my panels there and have my control building like right here.
Yeah, I agree.
So then there's no loss in run, really.
These put out 8 amps.
This should be mandatory.
80 amps.
Everyone should have to build a small house in their 3 years of high school. They have to build them a tiny house and learn to live on their own. That should be. We could start a school. You know, just a college like that. You can start a school if you have 35 acres. You could come out. Maybe after I develop this, that's what we plan on doing.
That's where ours is.
Okay.
Closer to them sand grates.
Yep. We're baby stepping it over there.
That's right, brother.
Big step to here and baby stepping to there.
Yeah, that's right. Getting in Colorado.
Yep.
Once you're there, move around.
I want to make it where the Alpines are. 9,000 feet, I think. Is that it? Now, when I wake up at night, I'm finding
And I'm going to capture 2 cameras and
All right, we got wire here.
3 cameras. And you can wire it up.
Okay.
Did you want to check your...
No, because I know what I got it hooked
Okay.
out to out there. I've got white to negative.
And they'll probably spark when you feed them through that thing unless you do it one at a time, which is good.
Is this a push or we got a flippy head? Where's she at?
And now it's a
Okay.
screwdriver. There you go. And if you want, you can tie your bare wire to ground.
Clip a little bit off of there. So.
It's giving them an error there. Well, there's Wyatt.
Hey, Wyatt, we're experimenting with some solar panels.
That's not hard enough. Okay.
How you doing?
It sees your, okay, it sees the panel input voltage, 131.
130. That's what we had out there, 131.2.
Yeah,
So
it's just not, it's not feeding it into the batteries yet.
Got to build up some capacitance. Push it past.
Okay, now it's got 8 amps going to the batteries.
Okay.
So they're charging. The ground's over on the left.
Feed it into the, that's AC input though. We don't want to put the DC in the AC input.
Watch out, Sissy.
Although it is just a ground.
Let's see.
What do you think?
There's a ground lug in here somewhere. I don't remember where I saw it.
Ready? Sure.
How you doing, White? I don't know if you remember me or not. But how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good.
How you been?
Been doing good.
Are you?
I'm still here.
Yes.
Mother Nature ain't froze me out yet.
Yeah, just got some beauty there, some rolls, and got a charge inverter and a control charger.
Okay, now
Taiwan.
you're up to 9 amps, and we're getting 558 watts off the panels. And the reason it's not as high as you would think it would be is because they're not exactly
Yes.
perpendicular to the
Yes.
sun.
Yes.
But that'll at least get your batteries charged up. So.
Hey, what?
I think it's good.
All right.
At least it'll charge back. You're already back up to 49.4 volts.
See the new refrigerators with the new compressor tech. Get a surplus energy.
Yeah, this is awesome. So your PV array voltage has dropped down to 102 volts. Now you're getting 569 watts. Your voltage is 49.5, so it's climbing. We'll charge more.
We had to make a change of plans with the old power. What is this one?
Close that back up so it doesn't, so we don't end up with something falling in there and shorting out.
Not that ground wire, Steve. Where does it go?
The ground wire doesn't have to go to anything, but what I would like to do is tie everything together. This wire here, I would like for it to go connect the panel frames and attach to the inverter housing, and then we need to ground the inverter housing to an earth ground as well. And then that just sort of keeps static discharged so that there's no static buildup in the system. Because right now this is just free floating, kind of like a car would be. And you can see here that our little graph, here shows that we've got power coming in from the panels.
Yep.
There's still no utility power. We've got power going into the batteries now instead of coming out. So we're getting power from the panels that's going directly to the refrigerator and power going into the batteries. So the batteries aren't even, batteries aren't supplying anything. They're getting charged now. My system will not do that. No, my system will do that. Never mind.
But when the batteries get all charged, it shuts off.
When the batteries are all charged up, the only power that comes in is what's being used off the panels. He's at 49.7. The voltage is climbing. Beautiful, beautimus. That's it for this week's video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next week, or next month, or whenever I get to it. I always answer questions whether posted publicly or privately. See you then.